All right, we are live. Sorry about the delay, you guys, but we're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Tuesday edition of our Q&A. So, welcome. Give you a second to come aboard. How's that? All right. Okay, so welcome. My name is Jessie. I'm with Decker Truckline, and every Tuesday we do a Q&A here on our YouTube channel. Every Monday we do a Q&A on our Facebook. So if you're not following us on Facebook, hopefully you're following us here, and you can join in, ask your questions. That's what this is all about: asking questions, finding out what we have available, getting the newest, most latest details on what's going on here at Decker. So we're going to be talking about incentives, amenities, incentives, all that kind of cool stuff. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Ask your questions. Don't hesitate. Let's make sure that we're getting those answered for you so that it's crystal clear. So, all right. Awesome. We have Corbin. Hello. You should have been worrying about me. I was struggling, but I'm here. Amy's here. Frog is here. Hello, hello. Yes. Hope mine doesn't. Amy says, by 15 minutes. Yeah, 16 yes, 15 minutes. Fashionably late. Right? Get out of one meeting, go to another. So there we are. So we are here live. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We're talking about incentives. We want to make sure that we get everything in order and making sure that you're well aware of what we have, a good understanding of our minimum pay, since that has been the topic of discussion, at least yesterday during our Facebook Live. Where was I at yesterday? Yeah, our Facebook Live. So I want to make sure that we have all those questions answered, making sure you are aware of what you need to have, what you don't need to have in order to qualify, and what, how it goes into effect, and all the extra amenities and incentives that we have along the way, bonuses, that kind of stuff. So Frog's here. Yes, indeed. Corbin says, well, better late than never. Yeah, that's true, but it's not a late load claim. Then I would be in big trouble. So be on time, right? Okay. Let's dive in. Like I said, if you have any questions, put it in the chat. Let's have you put a zip code, city and state. We'll answer questions. Hopefully at the end we'll have time to go over some of the available positions that we have here at Decker as well, and answer that. But if we don't, for some reason, and here in YouTube I can usually take a little bit longer, but if we don't for some reason, make sure that you call the telephone number that's right here if you're interested, 888-668-0698. And one of the recruiters can help you out and tell you what we've got in your area as well. So that's what that's for. And there's the application right there. If you want to fill out the application online, that's there for you. So let's dive in. I'm going to talk about the minimum pay, the guaranteed pay, those kind of in a lump sum right now, because I'm talking about incentives. I'm talking about how we basically cover you under that umbrella, make sure that you have that peace of mind. Trucking, it goes up and down from week to week depending on when you're going home. If you're home on a weekly basis, then it's usually more consistent. But if you're out for a full week and then you're coming home halfway through the next, then obviously your loads are going to be a little bit shorter on that week than it was the week before. So out time, home time combo definitely factors in. And I think that's part of the reason why that minimum pay is going to work so well for you guys, so it doesn't work. Frog says, Tennessee Harbor freight locations. What am I missing here? Amy says, in 1 week, Caden starts kindergarten. Woohoo! Guess who's more than excited? I think you are. I think you're more excited. Frog, Tennessee Harbor freight locations. So that's what we're going to talk about first. Okay, so the questions that I'm getting was more so on what are required of you for the guaranteed pay, the minimum pay, and all of that. So remember, our refrigerated divisions all have minimum pay. All of our refrigerated divisions, whether it's Midwest refrigerated or our Western refrigerated division, that's OTR, they're all minimum pay, $1,000 minimum. The exception to that is if you're on one of our guaranteed pay positions in our Midwest Refrigerated, which gets you the $12.50 a week. You are home on a weekly basis for that. That is the guaranteed versus the minimum. Same type of qualifications, same type of guidelines. The difference between the two is the Midwest Refrigerated guaranteed pay runs in a lot smaller area. You're running shorter loads. You're not as likely to get over and above that amount as you are with that minimum pay. With the minimum pay, we expect you to be well above that. But with the guaranteed pay, that $12.50 is really where you're at. Our goal is to get you more with that bonus every month, but we'll dive into that as well. So Amy says, nope, I'm going to miss him. He's counting down days, but I'm going from 8:15. Oh, of course you're not. And we'll end up at 3. Oh, health scans and delay start. Yep, that's never fun. Frog says, Tennessee complicated my friend. Fill me in. Has Midwest Flatbed new guaranteed pay happened yet? Yes, Midwest Flatbed guaranteed pay is up $14.50 a week. $14.50 a week for our Midwest Flatbed guaranteed pay. Depending on where you live, of course, that guaranteed pay could be a little bit higher as well for the Midwest Flatbed. So talking about the Midwest Flatbed, Midwest Refrigerated, Midwest, or even the minimum guaranteed pay. Qualifications. The number of miles that you have or that you run for the week, that is irrelevant when it comes to the minimum pay or the guaranteed pay. As long as you're available for dispatch and at least available for dispatch and at least 5 days a week, and you're not turning down any loads, then the number of miles is irrelevant to meet those minimum requirements. But that's the minimum requirements. When it comes to what your pay per mile is times the number of miles you run, obviously that's going to be relevant at that time because you're going to want to maximize your miles or maximize your pay by increasing your miles. So then, yes, it is relevant. But in order to in order to meet the minimum pay, miles are not a factor. They're not a factor at all in it. So when I was asked last week about the how many miles it takes to qualify for the minimum pay, there isn't a mileage rate that has to qualify you. In order to exceed the minimum pay, it's going to depend on what your rate per mile is. So again, as our current company drivers who are on it, if you were currently making 45 cents a mile, and remember 10 cents of that's per diem, but if you're making 45 cents a mile, then it takes 2,222 miles in order to reach that minimum pay of 1,000. So anything over 2,200 basically is gonna get you over and above that $1,000 a week. Does that make sense? So another example, if you're making 50 cents a mile, anything over and above anything over above 5 or 2,000, oh my goodness, anything over and above 2,000 is going to get you that $1,000 minimum and above. Anything over 1923 for 52 cents a mile is going to get you above that $1,000 mark. Does that make sense? So the more you get paid per mile, the fewer miles it's going to take to exceed that $1,000 mark. So our more experienced drivers who tend to get more miles because they're often better at scheduling their loads, planning ahead, managing their time, then because they get more miles, they're still going to be getting the same cents per mile as they would before. It's just that $1,000 base is there. So it's nothing different on your cents per mile. That's just your protective unit there. Cool? Does that make sense? Frog says, my friend is located in Tennessee. Tennessee. Let's see. Amy, I haven't gotten a report on that yet. Let's see. Where's Tennessee? Oklahoma. Let's see. So that is going to be, how far from Oklahoma City is that? So about 68 miles. So we've got, should be able to get you into the Flatbed and possibly the Refrigerated, but you're going to be looking at about 2 to 3 weeks out at a time out of Hennessy, Oklahoma, if that's where you're talking. Tennessee complicated, my friend. Make sure I'm understanding you right, Frog. By the way, I talked to Peggy and now I figure out who I'm talking to. Amy says, heard of Tyson, California closed. Not that I know of. I haven't heard that they've closed because of COVID. I know we had notifications when our customers had, but no, that I had not. Good to know though. I'll have to look into that. Usually they send us those notifications right away. Any of our customers for that matter. Okay, so does the mileage part make sense? Yay? Nay? Because it's irrelevant to meet the minimum, to meet the guaranteed, but to go over and beyond it, that's when it factors in. And so last week when I was asked, I think the question that I was asked was, what is the mileage requirement? There isn't. And it just depends on what your pay per mile is to get over and above it. So there, did a better job, hopefully a more thorough job of explaining that and better understood. But for the actual requirements to meet the minimum pay and the guaranteed pay, you need to be available for dispatch. Don't turn down any loads. No driver service failures. Be available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week. Which means that if you're out for 2 weeks and home for 3 days, you're balancing those 2 days or 3 days home time over a 2 week period. And if you're out for 3 weeks at a time and home for 4 days, then you're balancing those 4 days over a 2 week period. So it's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Tuesday that are off. Cool? All right. Get all of your paperwork in. We have the TransFlow app on your phone. We've got TransFlow Geotab app in some of the trucks. We've got the Omnitrax in the others. We're transitioning to the TransFlow Geotab, so it should be easy peasy. And that should take away all of those questions. Sound good? All right. Easier to get your paperwork in and everything too, so you'll know what you're getting in. Scan it. Got the onboard scanners in the truck too, so that's covered. So all your paperwork in, no driver related service failures, be available for dispatch, no load refusals, available for dispatch at least 5 days out of the week, no CSA violations, and no preventable accidents. That is what will qualify you for the minimum pays and the guaranteed pays. All right, so we've got that. We've got those implemented for us. We have additional incentives. We've got the extra 5 cents a mile for monthly bonuses. 4 cents is part of the scorecard bonus. And 1 penny per mile is the Smart Drive bonus. The Smart Drive is, well, if you're here at Decker, you know all about it. It is a combination of safety features: lane departure, following distance, speed gauge. It is part of the inward and outward facing event recorders in the truck. And you've got the gauge there, and you can also read those on your TransFlow app if you haven't already. Frog says, if I understand this, under 2,000 miles. If depending on your pay, if you're, like your pay, whatever you're currently getting paid. So say you're getting paid 43 cents a mile. If you're getting paid 43 cents a mile right now, then you need to run at the very least 2,325 miles in order to go above the $1,000 mark. Does that make sense? Which 2,300 for over the road isn't stressing you out. Those are longer lengths of haul. Average length over in there in that division is 1,000, 1,100 actually. However, if you're at the rate of 52 cents a mile, you're an experienced driver, you've been here for a while, then 1,923 miles would get you over and beyond that $1,000 mark. Crystal clear? On your paycheck. If I understand that, it's under 2,000 miles. Yeah, the requirement, it really isn't a requirement at all for miles. It's just in order to go over and above, those are the miles that you would need. There's no requirement for the miles in the guaranteed pay and the minimum pay. However, put a wrench in it. If you want to get a bonus, so if you're trying to maximize your bonus each month, then yes, that does require a minimum mileage count. So if you're in the over-the-road refrigerated division, for example, you have to run a very minimum of 2,700 miles to get the max points for your mileage within the scorecard bonus. So that's totally separate than your minimum pay requirement, because minimum pay requirement doesn't have that at all. But for scorecard, you've got your fuel compliance, and there's different levels of percentages that you have to be compliant with in order to get the full 50 points for your fuel compliance. So say you're at 85% fuel compliance, then you're going to get 30 points out of the 50 points for just that section. And there's 7 different criteria. There, that's a 7. 7 different criteria for the for the scorecard. You've got fuel compliance, you have idle time, you have miles, claims, preventable accidents, CSA violations, and service failures. Those are the 7 criteria. So for fuel efficiency, it's 50 points total. For idle time, it's 200 points total, because you all know that idling the truck can be very expensive. That's why we have APUs in all of our trucks. That's why we have the bonus system that's highly structured around your fuel efficiency as well. The miles requirements depend on the division. So again, for the refrigerated, the over-the-road refrigerated based out of Missoula, Montana, anywhere from 2,400 or 2,399 up to 2,700 and beyond are going to pay you an extra, or going to qualify you, for a percentage of the mileage bonus. So mileage bonus is 150 points of the 1,000 points total. Preventable accidents, 200 points of the scorecard bonus, and you either forfeit them or you don't for the mileage bonus, or for the preventable accidents. Same with CSA violations, same with claims, and same with service failures. Cool. All right. Golden. Right? Is that clear? I want to make sure that we've just had a lot of questions on it, and I'm hoping that it's simpler than what you're thinking or what you were struggling with. So that was the goal, is to make it simpler than difficult. All right. You're lucky if you break the 2,000 mile mark. Are you in the over the road refrigerated though? Because you've got Peggy, so you should be. Because that average there is usually between 2,700 and 3,200 a week. So let's take a look at where we can make those improvements. Let me look into your miles and everything, and the type of runs that you're doing. Okay. Okay. Cool. I'll look into that and talk to Peggy about it and see where we're at and see where we can improve. Because we want to get you over and above. That's our base. We don't necessarily want to be paying out that 1,000. We want to be paying more than that 1,000 every week. Okay, so now back to that scorecard. That's an extra 4 cents a mile. The Smart Drive, if you have 20 points or below, which isn't easy, because yes, it does take into effect your speed gauge. It does take into effect your following distance. A lot of safety features, a lot of safety controls. And those of you who have gotten the 20 points or below, which is over a quarter, actually it's over a third of the fleet who have gotten that, kudos to you, because that is not easy, but yet we've seen massive improvements on it. So continue to do that. You'll continue to get that penny per mile bonus every month. which the bonuses pay out usually around the 15th of the month. Usually the third pay period of the month. So that's the Smart Drive and the scorecard bonus. Plus, when you're higher on, you do get a penny raise after 90 days and then every year on your anniversary until you cap out. So each division's a little bit different on the cap. Currently, we're at 52 in the Western, 50 for the Western Refrigerated. For the Midwest Refrigerated, you're at 55, and for the cap in the over-the-road flatbed or any of the flatbed divisions, it's at 54 cents a mile for the cap. You get a $2,500 bonus on your 1-year anniversary. That's our sign-on bonus. You get that. It pays all at once on your 1-year anniversary, and you do need to run a minimum of 100,000 miles for the flatbed divisions and 110,000 miles for the refrigerated and van divisions. A and J, I want to do Northeast Regional and guarantee 1,800. Do drug tests. Yep, drug testing is required. It is a DOT position. And we don't really do Northeast. So we might have some random runs up there. So we definitely don't have any Northeastern runs that would keep you regional. Night Rider. Hey, Night Rider. Good to have you here. I was chatting with you a little bit earlier. Do you run in Michigan for the Midwest Refrigerated Division? We do, especially around, well, more so around the Detroit area for the Midwest Refrigerated. It wouldn't be in the $1,250 a week. It would be in the $1,000 minimum pay, but I can't remember. I remember looking up your location yesterday or maybe even the day before, but I don't remember what location you were at. But Michigan, it's more the Detroit area that we have those positions available. Cool. Okay. What else? So we talked about the sign-on bonus. We talked about, we've got Driver of the Month. Driver of the Month is calculated off of your scorecard. So what your scorecard is, and in comparison to the rest of the division, the top drivers will get, or the top driver will be chosen for Driver of the Month each month. You cannot be chosen for Driver of the Month more than one time in a 12-month period. So not necessarily a 12-month period, but within that year, that specific year. Night Rider in Grand Rapids, no, we don't have refrigerated in Grand Rapids. We do not. But you can, however, be chosen for Driver of the Year, which is chosen from the Driver of the Months. You can be chosen from Driver of the Year back to back. So first, let's start with Driver of the Month. Driver of the Month gets an extra $100 gift card plus a $50, so it's a $100 Walmart gift card plus a $50 gift card to the Decker store. So you can get things like this shirt or these things or the cooler. I don't know, these are squeezy things. Clearly I like those. There's all kinds of things. Gloves, caps, coats, all kinds of goodies that you can get from the Decker store. Now, you've got that option. Our nominees, which depends on the number of individuals, number of professional drivers in each division on how many nominees we'll have for that division. So our Midwest Refrigerated, we usually have 2 nominees because it's the largest division. For our over-the-road flatbed, we don't usually have one, or for our flatbed divisions, we don't usually have one because it's a smaller division. So that being said, the nominees will get a $50 gift card to Walmart plus a gift from the Decker store. And then from Driver of the Month, you transition to Driver of the Year. So Driver of the Year, we still have 6 different divisions. We have the over-the-road refrigerated, we have over-the-road flatbed, we have our Midwest refrigerated, our Midwest flatbed, we have our lease purchase, and our teams. So those are our divisions that we offer. Not only Driver of the Month in each of them, but also the Driver of the Year. The Driver of the Year is chosen from the Driver of the Months that year, and it's based off of not only your scorecard, but also your Smart Drive rating. So if you've got a Smart Drive, if you've got a good Smart Drive number, which is, like I mentioned before, 20 or below, then your odds are obviously much better. We've noticed that most of our Driver of the Months are averaging 1,000 points And we're seeing a lot of guys who are consistently getting those 1,000 points. So if you're not getting a full 1,000 points, which is the max you can get for the scorecard, please contact Patrice, contact your driver manager, contact Jason or Gerard or Darren, and we can help get you to that so that you can maximize your payouts. We want to see that. A and J said, did you see that Decker truck here on YouTube that caught off the truck? I did not. I don't think we do. You know, there's always somebody that doesn't always make a good choice, but no, we are quite picky on who we hire based off of qualifications and experience and driving record and all of that. But no, I didn't see that. I'll have to check that out. Frog says, right thing under 21 or under 20. Yep, the Smart Drive under 20. So that also qualifies you. And then from Driver of the Years, we choose one Grand Champion, and the Grand Champion gets a $15,000 bonus. So you go from $100 for the monthly bonus to $3,000 for the Driver of the Year to $15,000 for the Grand Champion. So we definitely have the incentives there. Plus we have the referral bonus, which you can go hog wild on. Last year we paid out to one individual, paid over $11,000 just in referral bonuses, and just within the last quarter actually. If you want to maximize your referral bonus, then go ahead and use the Transflow app. That's the best way to do it. That pays $1,500 for drivers 1 through 3 that you refer that are hired on. Obviously have to meet our strict qualifications. And then we also have an increase in the referral. So the more hires you refer, or more referrals that we hire, you get a $2,000 per hire for 4 or 5 in the year 2020, and anything for if you refer 6 or more within the year, then you're going to get $2,500 per driver for the year. So that pays out within 90 days of hire. Frog says, who do I contact for Smart Drive? Patrice. Definitely Patrice. If you're wondering what your Smart Drive score is, your driver manager should be able to access that. So can Jason, so can Darren. But Patrice can really answer in-depth questions on that. He oversees the Smart Drive altogether and takes, oversees all those gauges and makes sure that he's staying on track of that. Great coaching. Patrice since he's been with the company, he's been in safety obviously, and he drove for us, and then he's been head over the Smart Drive since we started that, and has done a fantastic job of coaching, getting guys who were, we had some high scores, not knowing how the Smart Drive system worked and how it was coaching us, and then we were able to bring those scores really low, and fantastic numbers at this time. We want to continue to see those numbers creep down. But yeah, he was an owner operator. He was a company driver. He really has a good understanding, and he drove for what was it, 30 years? Is that right? I can't remember exactly, but yes, he's got lots of experience and can help coach you on that. A&J says the video is like 4 years old. You know what? I did see that. I did see that. Now that you say that, I thought you meant recently. Like, no way. But yeah, I have seen that a couple of years ago. What else? And obviously that's why a lot of the qualifications are the way they are to A and J, making sure that you're looking for the top quality, showing the elite instead of hiring anything below that. Additional bonuses, additional incentives that we have. You know that we've got pretty much any amenity you can think of in the truck. We have refrigerators and APUs and CB units and navigation and Sirius radio. We have microwaves and Epic View satellite TV, the TV and the programming's company paid. So yeah, the trucks are fully equipped, newer model. They are automatics. Average age is about 18 months. So 2017, I think Sheldon said yesterday. He's got an older one. He's just waiting to get switched out here. He's got a 2017 with a little over 400,000. But other than that, completely newer model trucks, 579 Peterbilts, some 730, 740, 760 Volvos, and some Freightliner Cascadia Evolutions. So newer there. If you have any questions on the equipment, let us know. Yes, they are automatics. Yes, they are governed. They're at 68 on the cruise and 65 on the pedal. A&J says, what do you keep your trucks governed at? Perfect timing for that question. But yes, again, 65 on the pedal and 68 on the cruise. So, what am I missing? Additional incentives. We have, of course, Blue Cross Blue Shield. Well, of course, health insurance, excuse me. But Blue Cross Blue Shield, it's an 80-20 plan. Starts after 90 days. We have company paid life insurance, paid vacation, which is 1 week after 1 year, 2 after 3, 3 after 7. We have the Vision for vision. We have Delta Dental for dental. We have Unum for our life balance, which is our EAP program, Unum Life Balance. If you want more details on that, that is actually available to not only our company drivers, this is paid by Decker, but for our company drivers as well as their spouses, their dependents, their in-laws, their parents, you know, so it covers pretty much everybody in your family. And it has a variety of things. So again, this is the Employment Assistance Program. It does have counselors available to talk to. It has a lot of resources for estate planning or dealing with teenagers or dealing with elderly parents, with divorce. I mean, there are a lot of resources available to you in all different realms of things that are going on in your life, or could be going on in your life, struggles of whatnot, financial security, learning how to work with debt, learning how to manage your finances better. So all of that is available through the Life Balance. It's unum.com/life balance, which is our EAP program. In addition to our medical insurance, we also have the MeMD, which is a teledoc. You guys are probably familiar with that. Probably more so than ever before here in 2020. Things have kind of been flipped upside down, and that's something that we are seeing more and more of. So the teledoc it's just that. It's a telephone or a doctor by telephone. So you can call and chat with them face to face. You can use the tablet. You can use your phone. You can use your computer and talk to them over the phone. They can diagnose all sorts of things over the phone. They can help set up prescriptions for you. They can help set up appointments for you. But that is free if you are using the Decker insurance. If you're not taking advantage of the Decker insurance but still want the teledoc service, MeMD, then you can do that. And I think it runs $30 to $35 a week, I just can't remember, a month, excuse me. I just can't remember which one it is. So that's also available to you. What else? Life insurance, like I said, that's company paid life insurance. You can always up it. Rates are really affordable. Right now we're using Hartford Life. There's also short-term, long-term disability insurances, cancer disability, or cancer insurances available as well. We have the savings, the flex savings available as well as one of the benefits here at Decker. Trying to think of what else I'm missing. All kinds of incentives, you guys. You're taken care of. 401k is a 30% match. So we'll match up to 30% of 8% of your total earnings. So depending on how much you put into the 401k, then we'll match that 30% of that 8. So let us know. If you're only putting in 5% of your earnings, of course we're matching that full 30% on that. AJ says, well, appreciated all the info. More companies should do this. How many trucks are you running? We're running about 780, 700, somewhere around there, right around that mark, A&J. But that's a combination of our Midwest refrigerated, our Midwest flatbed, our Midwest van, our over-the-road refrigerated, our over-the-road flatbed, and our short-haul flatbed divisions. Plus, we have a Tifton dedicated position and a which is Conestoga, and then we have a small division that runs hopper bottoms out of Fort Dodge. So Fort Dodge to Blair, Nebraska. So speaking of, good point, let me answer this. Speaking of the positions we have available, we have the Conestoga position out of Tifton. That one is a minimum or a guaranteed pay of $750 a week. It's home multiple times throughout the week. And so obviously the pay per mile is where you go over and above on that one. So it's 45 cents a mile for that specific position. It runs South Carolina, Georgia. Obviously, Tifton, Georgia is where the position is located, so you need to run within about 25 miles, or you need to be living within about 25 miles of that. So Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, and some Alabama. So those are the areas you'll be running there. You're home either nightly or every other night. So a lot of times it's coming out, say you come out on a Monday night, you come home on a Tuesday night. Or excuse me, you come out on a Monday morning, come home on a Tuesday night. So that's kind of how that rotation goes. And it just depends on the run that you're on for that Tifton dedicated Conestoga position. So, Frog says, how do I get a dedicated run in the Midwest? Well, we'll just have you talk to your recruiter, see what's available in your area, make sure that there is something, and then if there isn't a dedicated in your area, then talking to your driver and manager, letting them know that, hey, I'd be interested if a dedicated came out open in this area. That way, when they're talking to customer service and they're getting loads and whatnot, if they hear that there might be an option, they can go ahead and do that. They can go ahead and try and find that. But that's if there isn't a dedicated available in your area. Once there is a dedicated position available in your area, then talk to Jason or Darren, and they can get you switched into that dedicated run. That's how that's done. Now we also have one position available. It's a overnight position, really. It's local, running from Fort Dodge, Iowa to Blair, Nebraska. I brought it up just a moment ago, running hopper bottoms. It pays per shift. So first of all, the shift that's available starts at 11 p.m. and it runs 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, and then 3 days off. So that means basically that every other weekend is a 3-day weekend for you. So 2 days on, 2 days off, 3 days on, 3 days off, and then continue back to 2 on, 2 off, 3 on, 3 off. All right. That's the hopper position that's available. It gets you home nightly or gets you home daily, depending on which shift you're on. But yeah, the 11 p.m., it's about an 8 to 9 hour run from Fort Dodge to Blair, Nebraska, and gets you back every time. ANJ says, now, can you make more than $750? In that Tifton, yes. Yes, that $750 is actually one of the first guaranteed pays, or the first, now that I'm thinking about that, guaranteed pay positions that we were able to create. The 45 cents a mile is what you're going to go off of. You're going to go off of your miles and your cents per mile. I'm going to bring up my calculator because I don't do math well. So just like I was saying with our minimum pay, what your miles requirement would be in order to get, so that's about 1,600 miles, roughly, for the $750. So yeah, we definitely want you to run more miles than that. So you're probably more around the, for that Tifton run, you're probably more around that 1,900 a week range. But the 750 is just there for reassurance and to help you budget, to help you have that peace of mind that it is there. However, now to keep in mind that Tifton run, they do close, the customer does close for 2 weeks during Christmas, New Year's. So during that time, you can transition into the flatbed and run regional flatbed if you want, if you don't plan on taking the time off along with it. But yeah, that one shuts down for 2 weeks during Christmas. So in the past, a lot of people they just switch over to run flatbed for a couple of days, a week or so during that time. Let's see. I think I answered all those. Right? Okay. So what else do we have for the over-the-road refrigerated based out of Missoula, Montana? We can get you home every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on your position and or depending on your location. And most areas in Missoula, well, within the Missoula area or Seattle, Washington, we can actually get you home every 7 to 10 days. Amy says, sorry, I had a dog sick. Oh no, got into the cat food. That'll happen. They don't like that. Well, they like it. They just, their tummies don't. So yes, that's the over-the-road refrigerated. Again, that's minimum pay is there. If you're wondering about hiring areas, best thing to do, you guys, is go ahead and put your zip code in the chat so that I can answer those for you. If or city and state will work too. I might be able to recognize those a little bit more without cheating and looking them up on the map. Yeah, in our Midwest refrigerated, if you live in Kansas City, shout out to Kansas City. Hey, Anna. No, if you live in Kansas City, if you live in anywhere from Omaha to Chicago on I-80 there, or if you live from Albert Lea, Minnesota to Chicago, then that's ideal for our Midwest refrigerated guaranteed pay. So you have to live on those routes or within those routes in order to qualify for that $12.50 guaranteed pay. But you can, like I said, you can go over and beyond with the $12.50, but it's usually pretty darn close. Frog says, what's the noise in the background? It could be me snapping. Is it this? Sorry. Or me shaking I was moving my mouse to read a comment. I'll back away. Is it gone? One of the most annoying things is when you're watching a YouTube video and there's noise and you can't understand anything. So I got you there. Other than that, you shouldn't have any noise. Anyways, what else? What we got? For the Midwest flatbed guaranteed pay, if you live anywhere from Iowa City to St. Louis, over to Columbus, up to, I'm trying to see the map in my head. So let's see, Iowa City to St. Louis to Columbus, up towards Toledo, and then back towards Chicago, back to Iowa City. Everything in that section is a minimum of $14.50 a week. $14.50 a week for the guaranteed pay for the Midwest refrigerated. No cat. Yeah, so that's what that is. $14.50 minimum. If you live in the Chicago area, most definitely give us a call. We've got even more opportunities out of the Chicago area for the Midwest flatbed guaranteed pay. Remember, with the Midwest flatbed guaranteed pay and with the Midwest refrigerated guaranteed pay, you're going to be getting home on a weekly basis, which means coming in on a Friday night or Saturday morning, or leaving back out either Sunday night or Monday morning. That's a no. Yes, but they're all gone, Amy. They've been gone. Been at school for over a week. Yeah. So, what else are we missing? Any other questions for the van position that runs from really Lincoln, Nebraska to Gary, Indiana on I-80? That's an ideal location for us. That can get you home on a weekly basis if you live there. It'll get you home every 2 weeks if you live in Atlanta, Georgia, or Athens, Georgia, or Hartwell, Georgia, or Anderson, South Carolina. Good questions. Love them. Keep the questions coming. Drivers live within 100 miles. Yes, call. If you live within 100 miles of Chicago, call at 888-668-0698. More opportunities. Yep, Amy, it does. Yeah, we've been in for a while. Where are the pictures of the trucks going up? The pictures that I sent over to Elaine? Is that what you're referring to? Or these? What pictures are you referring to? I do take the pictures. I do collect the pictures, I should say, of the trucks. So if you want to send in some pictures, facebook.com/DTL Inc. and I'll hang on to those. I do use them for some of our memes that we use. So if you're watching us on Facebook, or if you join us on Facebook or Instagram, we use them for there as well. Gotta show those trucks off. They're good looking. Nice looking trucks, right? But no, Elaine is hanging up a bunch of pictures in the orientation building, just as you go up the stairs. Amy says, Frog, they are under a contest. Oh yeah, this is a contest. So we do have our contest that's going on right now. We have officially 23 hours at this very minute. Here you go. 23 hours to get this in. If you have any pictures that you would like to share of your hobby, that's what the topic is for this week, is hobby. So everything has to be in by noon on Wednesday in order to qualify, or at least to be in the voting for Friday's winner. The winner, first of all, the topic is hobbies, and the winner is chosen on Friday. Come Wednesday, I'll make out either a picture post or a video post, depending on how many entries we have, and then you guys will get to choose who the winner is for the $40 gift card to the Pilot Flying J and the receiver of the Decker cap. Last week was Thomas Remington. Frog says, look at the picture while you're talking. I am looking at the picture. I'm looking at the picture now. What am I looking for? Oh, look at the pictures while you're talking. Okay, the other pictures. I got you. Now I'm gonna look. Frog says, yes, that one's ATS, me about one. Okay, so now I'm looking at them. You're throwing me off. I never know what you're gonna have or what you're gonna say. Throwing me off. Amy says, have you ever thought of doing a contest to design the cover photo for Decker's Facebook page? That's a great idea. Each week maybe change it. We can do that. I love that idea. I love it. We're doing it. Facebook cover photo contest. That would be awesome. Yes. Each week being different. That's cool. Allow kids to help. Of course they can help. Hey, Scott. Awesome. I love that idea, Amy. I'm using it. Fantastic. All right. So yes, this week is the last week for this photo contest, at least. The photo contest that'll get everybody, get one winner, a $40 gift card to the Pilot Flying J and a Decker cap. It doesn't have to be a Decker driver, but we do want to see your hobby, and the hobbies will then get, you get to choose. Everybody gets to vote who their favorite one is. Amy says, one rule has to have a logo somewhere. Yeah, that's what we'll have to do. I'm not going to talk about it anymore, only because I don't want to confuse everybody with what the actual photo contest is. But Amy, I love that idea. I swear we're going to use that. That's fantastic. Austin. Hey, Austin. Austin Tanner says, do you hire out of Tallahassee, Florida? Tallahassee, I believe we have the, Flatbed out of there. Let me double check. I want to see if you're too far south for me. Yep, okay, so we have the over-the-road flatbed out of there, which would get you home about every 2 to 3 weeks. About every 2 to 3 weeks. It does require 1 year of flatbed experience. Amy, of course you can send your hobbies. Are they pictures? Taking naps. yeah, this does not have to be a current Decker driver. It doesn't, I mean, it can be somebody in-house, it can be somebody you know. Anybody can play the game. We'll send it out. Frog says, Mad you look. Mad you look, LOL9. What? You... Oh, that I had to look it up. Oops, I just deleted it. Yep, photos. Send them my way. Send them my way. You do not have to be a current Decker driver to play the game, the photo contest. Anybody can win. Yes, indeed. Same goes for the Hero of the Week. Anybody can nominate the Hero of the Week, and it does not necessarily have to be a Decker driver. It can be someone that you feel just holds that title, the Hero of the Week. So send that in to me at facebook.com/DTLinc. You can also send it to me at marketing@deckermail.com. Same with the hobby pictures, either marketing@deckermail.com or facebook.com/DTLinc. Mad you look. Oh, for the Tallahassee? Well, I wanted to make sure you weren't further, that he wasn't further south. I didn't want to screw it up. That's not good. Never want to do that. Alright, well, I know I was late joining the party today, you guys. I appreciate you holding out for me and joining me. Does anybody have any questions on the incentives that we have available here at Decker? And I'm sure I'm missing a few. Don't forget that on Thursday, we will have a new podcast. If you didn't check out last week's podcast, it was Mr. Sean Swallows. Where's my little podcast picture here? Let's see, where's it at? Anyways, so last week's podcast was Sean Swallows, and he was talking about the lease purchase. The lease purchase that we have. So he's been doing lease purchase with us for a while. He is getting close. He only has a little bit left on his truck, and given some ideas for what he might be doing next. But that was the podcast for last week. Yep. A&J says, nice talking with you. Gonna check you guys out later. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being with us. Amy says, stay safe and keep on trucking. Every load makes a difference. Dang rights. Anna says, thank you for joining us and stay safe. Amy says, I have to download them and list them driving to Missoula on Friday. They are just long enough for the drive there or back. All right, send them my way. That's for the podcast. Yeah, some of them, I think last week's was under, I think it was around 23 minutes or something like that. And then the other ones, Frog, you're throwing me off while you're killing me. So yes, the last week was around 23 minutes or so. Some of them are a little bit longer, 45 minutes, but you can sure learn a lot from them. And they're kind of fun. It's fun to hear. I really enjoyed talking to the night dispatch, hearing what they had to say. And just listening to that podcast kind of is a reminder of all the little things that they do to help everybody when they come in after hours. So I liked that. Oh, Anna's too sweet. She's my boost of confidence every day. All right, so like I said, don't forget to join us for the podcast on Thursday. Don't forget to get your pictures in. I have a whole list of things for you guys, but don't forget your pictures by tomorrow at noon Central to our Facebook page, facebook.com/DTLinc, or to marketing@deckermail.com, and that way we can get you in for the voting by Friday. So votes are tallied by Friday. Friday we can do the announcement, see who the winner is, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Click the little bell, subscribe, make sure you join us next week because we're here every week, noon Central. Next Monday, however, I will not be live. I don't think I will be on Facebook, but we will be here for noon Central. Cool. Thank you, A&J. Frog says, when we decorate our truck for the holidays. Ooh, I look forward to seeing that. That'll look cool. I love the holidays, but I'm not quite ready for them. I did notice that there was snow on Teton. Somebody, I think Bill, William Gorley, he actually sent a picture to the Facebook group of the snow on Teton Pass yesterday. I don't like snow, but it's always there. You know, Montana, it'll happen. Colorado, it'll happen. Yep. Washington, it'll happen. Wyoming, I guess. Wyoming, Teton. But it's there. Don't forget the chains. If you don't have chains on the truck, you gotta get them. The chain law is in effect. Goes from September 1st to May 31st. So it's official. It could happen. Last year we had a massive snowstorm the beginning of September in Montana. I'm guessing that it's going to want to do it again this year. But, all right, I'll let you be. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend. If you're going to be off for the weekend, please enjoy it. Be safe. Remember that this time of year when more and more people are traveling, even with COVID in the midst of all of this, more and more four-wheelers on the road, you never know what they're going to do. So drive careful, be aware of your surroundings, and have few, if any, please keep the distractions down. No distractions. All right, take care.